Hello, this is Vickie with VJ Designs. In this video, I am going to make a what I call a flip-flop journal out of envelopes. And what you want to do is pick envelopes that are pretty much the same size. I've got 4 here, and I'll show you how to put them together. Probably a lot of you have already done this before, but in case you haven't, this is just something fun I love to do, and we're going to have a fall mall at the end of October, and I thought, well, I do have a bunch of Christmas stuff and some fall stuff ready, but I was just kind of in the mood to try and make one of these. They're pretty easy, I mean, once you get the gist of how these are put together. So on the first envelope, what I do, you want to make a W. When they're glued together, you want them to make a W or an M, like that. Okay, so the first 2 envelopes I put together, I put this large flap inside. These are all pretty much the same size, so I'm just putting this flap inside like that, okay? And then this flap will get glued down on this side. So let's start with this. I'm going to try really hard to stay in screen. And you want to line it up. You want to line the creases. Okay, so line up the creases so that they will bend like that. Okay, and let's get this down good. Okay, so there's a pocket here. So later what I'm going to do is come back in and put some paper over this to just go ahead and utilize that pocket. Okay, but on this one, let's get our envelopes put together first. So then this is envelope number 4. So you want this one to open out this way, like that. And because this envelope sort of has the same kind of flap, this one is cut off straight right here. I'm going to go ahead and glue it in the middle. This envelope's just a teeny bit bigger or smaller than the other one. So I'm going to center it and make it so that this flap comes up like that. So I'm just going to glue this whole flap down to here. I can just glue this whole area. You don't want to go over that because then you'll be closing your opening. Okay. So there's that envelope. So there's your opening here. Okay. So then this one opens up like that. So you want your last envelope to go this way. So you're making your M. So go ahead and turn it over. You want to line it up so it's even with the first envelope, and they're the same size. And I think what I'm going to do on this one, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just glue this down, because I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with this. If I'm going to, I'll probably leave this pocket open, but I'll probably put some more paper down here. So sorry, out of screen. You want to line it up with the first envelope that's underneath. Okay, so that they're even. Pretty much like that. Okay, and I'm just going to glue this flap down. Sorry, I'm trying really hard to stay on screen. I apologize if ahead of time if I get out of screen. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down. Okay, so now we have our base put together, and it looks like that, like an M. Raise you up just a little bit here. Okay, so there's our base. We're going to have a signature here, here, and here. And the signatures are going to be small. Okay, and I got these crooked, and that is not good. So I need to try and get this lined up better. Since this is all glued down anyway. Bloopers are included. Okay, so this needs to be lined up better with the first envelope. I'm not doing a very good job here of that. So it needs to be like that. Okay, so I haven't done one of these in a long time, you guys, so bear with me. Okay, if you're still here, kudos to you. All right, so we're just gonna hold that. Okay, so I really kind of bunged that up there, so I'm probably going to just cover that whole piece, which is okay. And I hope that works better. Yeah. Okay. Now, the way I was doing this originally, I had it like this. And so I'm going to put a signature here, and a signature back here. Okay. So this is going to be my front page. And unfortunately, it's a little bit off. But I found this piece here. I probably won't use this. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I just want you to get the gist of how to do this. Okay. So now here on this back piece, well, let's get there when we get there. Okay, so let's start on the inside and let's put some papers. Okay, so and I did with mine. Okay, so I have this paper pad. It's got really cute papers in it I picked up at a thrift store. And I'm not wanting to do this one like in Santa Claus and stuff. I want it to be a little more neutral. This paper, one sheet of this left. I used one of these as a page. So what I want to do is cover the inside here. So this is going to be, I'll flip it over so I can just mark it. You know, I normally don't measure things, but these, I mean, sometimes you just have to. I will be editing this video because it's going to end up being very long if I don't. Or I'll speed it up or something, but you don't want to go over this crease. I'm just going to cut it here. And then the length I know is going to be 7 inches, so I'm going to need my other cutter. And where's my mark? There it is. Okay, and then this way is going to be 7 inches. So we're going to glue this in here, and before I do that, I'm going to cut or punch a hole right in the middle, a pull or whatever you want to call it, a notch, so you know where the opening is. Okay, so that goes just like that. We'll put that down on our front page, and then later we'll come back and decorate. Let me shut this door here real quick. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this glued down. Now I'm going to glue the envelope down here so that I don't accidentally glue where I'm not supposed to. And glue my opening, which is something I would do. Okay, so you want to leave a little border. Okay, just glue that right down. Okay, so there's your pocket. And I need to glue it down a little better here. And probably a little more here. Okay, so there's the inside of the cover. Okay, so now here I don't really want to cover this part, but I would like to do something here. And that I'm thinking like this, maybe. I'm kind of doing this on the fly, you guys, because I have not done this for a while. So like I said, I'll probably be editing parts of this out. I'm just going to cut this corner and then see how it goes. Cut it off there and there. You can turn it over and see it better on the white side. You guys are probably going, oh man, you're making it so hard. Why are you making it so hard? And I'm sure you probably can come up with a better way. But, you know, we all have our own way, right? What I might do is just come in and put a little something up here so it covers up. That'll be when we do the ephemera. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Okay, so there's that side. Now we can do this side. About the same distance. I hope everyone is doing well. I went over to a friend's house today and we crafted. We made lots of cards. It was lots of fun. This friend of mine goes away, and you know who you are, for the winter. Makes me very sad. She and her husband go down to Arizona. I told her maybe this year I'll just be a hitchhiker and go with them. They go down, well, it's about, I forget how, about 3 hours from Phoenix. That's where one of my boys lives and his family. And I went in January of this year. I escaped from the snow and cold for a while, and I went down there and spent almost 2 weeks. And then my friend Debbie came down from where they stay during the winter, and she came and got me. Now I don't want to glue right here on the edge because that's where the edge of the envelope is. I'll stay away from this edge. So anyway, she came down the last 3 days I was there because my son was getting really busy for work, and my daughter-in-law had to go back to California for a job she was doing at the time. And so she came down and stayed with her nephew that lives in Phoenix, and we just went out and did things. And then the last day I was there, she just picked me up and took me back to her house so I could spend the night there. And then they drove me to Las Vegas, which was closer to where they live. And I took the plane home from there. So it was a lot of fun. Lots of fun. And of course, the day I got back in between snowstorms, I was watching the weather, and I told my son, if they're going to have a snowstorm when I'm supposed to go back, I'm staying around for a while. But it wasn't snowing the day I was going back, so I came home, and then boom, the next day we had a really bad snowstorm. It snowed straight for 3 or 4 days, and we got 2 feet of snow here. It was not fun. Okay, so there we have that page covered. Okay. And like I said, we will come back and cover these. Now this page, I am going to just cover it. I'm going to have a craft-a-lanch here pretty soon. Okay, I think I'm going to cover this whole thing. So this one I do need to measure, and it will have a little red edge on it here from the other envelope, but that's fine. I mean, we are doing, you know, red and green. So I'll take it all the way up to the crease. Get it straight. See if I got Okay. I tried to get, you know, the pages for my what do you call them? Signatures already, but I didn't get these pages ready, so sorry. That's all right. You guys know sometimes you just can't get it all together. So let's see how this is going to line up with this page here. I think that's going to be good. Okay, so let's get this down. And you can edge these pages if you want to with, you know, inking. Usually I do, but I'm just going to not do it, at least with what I've done so far. So I want to lift this page up a little bit so I can get this down where it's supposed to be. Okay. Okay, so there's page number 3. And this page, I think we're going to go ahead and utilize this pocket. This was an unused envelope. I have a 12 by 12 container full of junk envelopes mostly, but I had a couple of these in here, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and use these too. So let me see what we can put on the back here. Let's do this. Do this Christmas Carol music. And I need to see, we'll turn it this way. Need to cut it off here and here. Saturday is World Card Making Day. I may not get this up before then, but hope you guys are participating in that. I'm going to go over on to Craft Roulette, I think, that day. There may be something that I will be doing. Now, again, I'm going to cut a notch in this. Oops. I guess I will. Some of these papers don't like it when you just try to do it by themselves. So I'll try that again with something behind it. There we go. Okay, and so on this one, I'm going to go ahead and distress the edge. just because this page looks distressed already, and I just want to be, you know, consistent with that look on here. We'll do it down here too. Okay. So we will just go ahead and glue this on this page like that. I just want to go to here. And then up the side. And try to make sure you've got, you know, even as you can around there. Okay, so that's all glued down. Make sure I didn't glue the opening. So there's our other pocket. So that's really cute so far. There's the inside page, second page, third page, fourth page. And now we've got this side. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do here right now, so I'm going to leave this. So here on this page, I think because I glued this whole thing down. I could still make a pocket here. How am I going to do this? I'm wondering, what this would look like here. That would be kind of cool. I think I might go ahead and just cover that. So first of all, I'm going to cut this in half. I could do this. I think I'll just do this. And I need my other cutter. I don't have room up here for both, really. So I have to move things around. Put one on the floor while I'm using the other. Okay, I'm going to cut this white strip off the side. And off the top. And let's see, I need to kind of measure this again and see where I'm at. So I want this to come up to here. We'll turn it like this. Could use this side. Nope, I think I'll use this side. So we're covering this page right here. So I want to make sure I'm getting it cut right. Okay, so what did I do with my pencil? There it is. Okay, and then over here we just need to cut off sliver. I am still basically working with one arm. I mean, I can use my left arm, but I can't like stretch it out very far, so I have to be careful not to overextend. I've just as soon not wear this sling, but you know, doctor's orders. He said I need to be in it for like, oh, I cut that too short. But you know what? That's okay, because I will glue this down here. To cover the bottom. And then we will put something across the top. This page is, I don't know, kind of wonky. So we'll get it down. We're going to glue down here and line it up with this end of the page. And I just glued the whole thing down. That's okay. And then we'll put a strip of something across the top. How about that? Because it's kind of the same page, only it has a little bit of holly on there. I believe these pages, this is I have a hodgepodge of pages from different people, like Hardy Mays. I believe this is from her digitals. And I have some from Scrapbooking with Me. Miss E at Scrapbooking with Me. I love her digitals. You guys, if you have not watched Scrapbooking with Me, I would highly recommend it because she is amazing. She's just so down to earth and kind, and her family is amazing. So, okay, I think I'm going to cut that across just under Christmas. Well, I think I'm going to tear around that holly. I'm going to tear around the holly just for kind of a different effect and not have that Christmas on there because there's already a Christmas right there. And we'll just tear across like this. Okay. And glue this up here like this. And I think that'll do it. And I'm going to ink around this a little bit. This is going to be really cute. These are time consuming. They really don't take any less time than a regular journal because you're kind of fussing with them a little more than with a straight journal. You're just, you know, putting the pages together and putting them in. But here you're kind of having to figure out, you know, how am I going to do put my envelopes together first of all to get them to come out right. And okay, so I'm lining this up with this to the top of the page. Okay. And there, I think that's pretty cute. Covered up the top there, and this page still closes. All right, and so now we just have 2 more pages really to cover. And I think what I might do is put this page over here. So I'm going to cut off this edge. And we will, I'm going to flip this out so I know what I'm covering here. I want to cover this. I'm covering this envelope under here, okay? So make a mark here and right here where you want to cut it. And I think I might go ahead and just glue that flap down like a, to make it a tuck spot. So I'm not gonna glue it down quite yet. I'm just gonna cover up this envelope. And that closes. I don't want to, a teeny bit more. I should have moved it down a little bit and cut off the white on the top, but you can barely see it because it's light. I can put some washi tape or something across there if it keeps bugging me. You know how you do. Okay, so, okay, that closes. So we'll go ahead and glue this one down. So there's that page. Okay, so see how this is coming together now? This is the front. There's your inside page, second page. And there's going to be a signature here, and then you flip it. And there's going to be a signature in here, so you won't even see these 2 pages together. And what I'm going to do with this is first of all, I think I'm going to ink the edges of this. And because this has glue over here, I'm going to cover that. Because if there's moisture or anything like that, you don't want that glue getting icky and then sticking to your papers and stuff that you have in here. So we'll just glue this to the edge. You won't see it, but then you'll know that, you know, if it were to ever get wet, or if moisture from the air or something makes it wet at all, then it won't be sticking to your whatever you stick underneath there. Okay, so there is a tuck spot. My cat is scratching at my door. He wants my attention. He's very needy this time of night. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave this for now, because this is going to be, you know. Okay, and then here's the cover, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the covers, but I will do this real quick. Okay, so I've got my signatures together, and I only put 3 pages to a signature. Okay, so this is going to be my first. Just going to go in here like this. So there's page 1, and it's an unused card. Okay, it's one of those cards that, you know, everybody gets in the mail. And so I thought that would be really pretty in here. So there's page 1, page 2, and there are white pages on the back, and that's okay. And you can do stenciling or cover them with other digitals. And this page, I just folded this over so it would fit. Okay, and so there's my first signature, and I will just cover this down here so you don't see the name of the company. So there's the first signature. I might change my mind and put it somewhere else, but I think this is the way I'm going to do it. And then this is the second. So there's page 1, page 2. I believe these are Artie Mae's papers, all of these. There's page 3. Okay, and then you flip it over, and here's the third signature. It's gonna fit in here. Oh, I forgot to cut this. I need to cut this page. I'll do that right now. It needed to be cut shorter a little bit. Okay, so there's page 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. I had 4 pages in here. We'll just do 3. Keep consistent. These are all Artie Mae's pages. Okay, and so those will get sewn in there like that. And we'll have a tuck spot here. And like I said, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. But there is a good beginning to our flip-flop journal made out of junk envelopes. Okay? So, all right, we will be back to continue part 2. And I might just make another video. because otherwise it'll be too long. So I'll do a series on this. So we're right at 50 minutes right now. So, okay, guys, thank you for watching if you're still hanging in there with me, and we'll finish this up. Thank you for stopping by. Please press the like button if you stop and see me, and make a comment. I love the comments, and I will answer you. Okay? Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.